Hi, I'm Naadia Jackson-Amiga, and it's really great to have you here on Marketing Tips and Tricks for HoneyBoss. Now, I am recording this, so we are trying to get quite a bit of information. I go quite fast, so please, if I go too fast, please tell me. Okay? If there's anything you don't understand or you want clarification on, or you have a question, please just put it in the chat box and I'll weave it into my conversation as I go along. So first thing, I just wanted to say thank you for showing up this morning. You will get a lot more from actually being on the call itself, mainly because you can get to ask me questions. So this call is going to be probably, this training is probably going to be about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the questions that we have. Okay, so let's get to it. So I'm going to share my screen with you now, and I'm going to put on this one here. Present. Okay, so this is what we're going to be covering today. We're going to be covering Facebook business pages. Why have we Facebook pages? How do you name them? The cover and the profile images, the descriptions and the story, and why they're important. We're going to be looking at websites, so different types of websites that you can get from paid ones to unpaid ones. We're going to look at branding. We're going to look at above the fold, and I'll tell you about that. We're going to look at the about page and how important that is. We're going to look at call to actions, and we're going to look at social proof. We're also going to look at something called Google Places, which is the way to get yourself on the map, and it's a really good way of doing it. We're also going to look at domain names and email addresses. And why you should actually have a domain name. We're going to look at a little bit of LinkedIn and how to, why you should be on LinkedIn and how it works, and then Canva. So, and if you have used Canva, that's great. If you haven't used Canva, that's cool. I'm going to show you a bit about that as well. It's an imaging package and it rocks. So that's what I'm going to be covering today. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is just admit that person there. Yay. Okay. So now we're going to start Facebook business pages. I love Facebook. Now, there's a lot of things that we can do that has, I'm just going to go to my Facebook business page now, actually, so I can get it all ready for you. So there's a whole lot of really cool things, and there's a couple of reasons why we should have Facebook business pages. So the first thing, it is free. So you can see my Facebook there. I'm just going to move myself down there. Okay, so Facebook business pages are free, which is really, really cool. And what they can enable you to do is showcase your business. So it's kind of like another way of showcasing your business. So one of the things I love is that a lot of time with Facebook, we connect with people one-on-one, okay? So this is my personal Facebook page. Okay, so I've got my face in it, got my little picture there. But one of the things I do have here is I have my business. So if somebody wanted to get in touch with me, this is what I do with people, as I find them on Facebook and then I go, oh, what's their business? And then I click on the link and it goes to the business page. Now, what's really cool about having the business page is on the front page, you've got the ability to sell things on here. So on your personal page, you've got to be really careful that you don't sell too much, because if Facebook sees that you're only selling on your personal page, they can shut it down. Okay, so you've got to be a little bit careful about that. I'm just going to check out if there's any notes here that we need to look at. Won't be one moment. In the chat box. Just going to get myself all sorted. There we go. Okay. So there's lots of different parts to the Facebook business page. The best thing is it is free, and it's a really good way to showcase your business. So in this one, this is my one. So in my one here, I'm just going to put it in as you would see it. That's actually quite cool that you can do that as well. You can actually, when you create the page, you can see how other people are going to see it as well. Okay, so the first thing is they've got the free ebook here. They've got the story about who I am and what I do. Then they can see my services. So if you come in here, you can see the services I can do. You can look at my recommendations and reviews, which is really cool. And then you can see any events that I've got. If I've got a shop, you can see that as well. And you can also then see what type of business I am. and what my website is and how to contact me. So it's actually really, really good to have a Facebook business page to do those kind of things. And it's kind of like a website, but not a website. So this is the bit where people communicate with you quite a bit. Facebook Messenger, for example, we communicate with each other a lot. So Facebook business page. How to create it? It's really easy. When you go to your personal page, you can just click on this little icon, this little down here, and go to create a page. And it's that easy. And then you just follow the steps. So then once we've got our business page, you want to make sure that your profile image, which is square here, but it's also round on every post you do. So if we go to the post page part of this, you'll actually see that every post that we've put on is, see, it's got my face in there. So you want to make sure that your image here is big enough and is a good enough image so that you can, it looks good in a circle as well, because that's how Facebook do it. The other thing is when you upload your profile image, it is square, so that's just something to look at. And when you do it, make sure you click on the image and then put some information about who you are with a call to action. So this here is a call to action because we're actually giving them something that they can do next. Okay. The other thing you can do in here, if you want to, you can tag people in photos, and you can also tag products if you've got a product there as well. Now, the next thing is your Facebook cover page. Now, this is really, really important, your Facebook cover page. And it's, I've got a really good template for this with a video on how to create the template, which I will put on the recording with this one as well. So what it does, how it works is, if you see this on a mobile, you will actually see there will be some, there's a bit more up here and there's a bit more down the bottom, where this is how you see it on a desktop. So you've got to be really careful when you're creating these kind of things to make sure that they look good on mobile and on desktop, because we've still got 80%, 60 to 70% people now doing more on their mobiles. But I do everything on desktop. I look at a lot more stuff on desktop because I work from my desktop. So you want to make sure it looks good on both. So you want to be really careful about that. The next thing here is the button here. Now, I'm not sure why it says visit group. So this is really good that we're going to change it. So in here, you can choose. Right, it's going to my online group. Okay, that makes sense. Except, so that's great that that button goes to my online group because that's what it's meant to do. The only problem is, of course, is that that image up the top has nothing to do with it. So you want to make sure that whatever you say in here has something to do with the button. So if I was going to then change this to go, hey, go over to my free Facebook group where you can get tips and tricks on marketing, and then go visit group, that would make sense. This does not make sense. So we're going to edit the button here. And I'm just going to say download. So we don't want to use get. We want to learn more about business, watch video, I make a booking for you. This is something you've got to really check, is what's going to make the most sense for you. So it would be send email, sign up. So it could be sign up. Sometimes you have to really look to find out which button's going to make the most for you. Wonderful. None of these really do. That's not really helpful, is it? Okay, we're going to put sign up, because that might be the best way of doing it for this ebook. And then one of the things it asks you is, where's the link to sign up to the ebook? So that's a really good question, actually. So what is the link? So here's my ebook here. There we go. And you just copy the link there, and you would just put it in here. You go save and go finish. So what happens now is it now says sign up. So so you can go sign up here. You can also go, if they click on the image here, it has a call to action here, and it tells you then how to download the ebook as well. Okay, so you've got to make sure that all these, any image that you actually put in, it's really good to have some information about maybe where the image came from or what relevance it has to business with a call to action, which could be a website, it could be asking them to call you, depending on what you want them to do. So this button here can be really good, especially if you want people to call you or email you or things like that. So just make sure that the button relates to what your website is talking about. So now the next thing here is, oh yes, okay. So what you call your Facebook page. Now your Facebook page doesn't need to be the same as your business name. So my business name is Uniqueness Solutions Limited. That's what I'm a registered business, and that's my business name. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. I found that I used to have one that said Uniqueness Solutions, but people weren't really equating Uniqueness Solutions with me. It was more my face and my name that people were seeing it, because I am my brand. So I gradually changed it from Uniqueness Solutions, and I changed it to Uniqueness Solutions Online Marketing. And then a couple of weeks later, I changed it to Online Marketing with Naadia, Jackson-Amiga. And so you can change the name of your page. So it's really, really important that you have a name of a page that works. Now, this is actually what is searchable in Facebook. So if I typed in, let's just make sure this doesn't make me a lie. If I go Online Marketing, okay, I come up first. So I also come up as a place, which is great. And then there's some events here, because I've just done me, so it makes it really easy. But if I click on that, that's my my Facebook page here. The other thing is I've got Naadia Online Marketing as my page name, and that's also the name of your page up here. If your page name has numbers here, make sure you change it, because it shouldn't have numbers. If you have numbers, it makes it much harder to find you. Okay, so you've got to make sure that these two things here are really are done, and that they make sense to who you are and what your business is. So it may be, butchery in Matakana, or, depending on what your business is. So you can really change this, and it can be longer if you want it to as well. There's a whole lot of different ways of doing it. But it's quite good for people to be able to also know that they've come to the right Facebook group, because you don't want them going to somebody else's. Okay? So so that's the image and the cover, and then you've got the names, which is really important. Now, down here, this is something that Facebook's put out in the last 6 months or so, and it's called your story. So in here, they've come up with this, so you can put an image in here, and you can tell your story about who you are. You can say, what you do and who you are, and then check out the website. So make sure that whenever you're putting this information in here, that you actually make sure that you put a call to action in. So call to action is, what do you want them to do next? So here we've put check out our website, so that they can click on that and go to the website. Okay, and then you just publish that. But it does come up on every single page, so it's really good to have it there instead of just making the generic one. What happens is Facebook, if you've got an old Facebook business page, they will automatically put a post in there. So you want to make sure this is actually giving the right information that you want. Okay, so the next thing is what page type. So you can have different templates for your pages. You can have different templates for your pages, which is really good. I'm just going to take people out of that. Okay. And so what happens with this is that if you click on settings, and in here, there's something in here called edit page. Now, in the edit page part, this is where you can choose what type of template you want. So, for example, I am a service-based business, so I wanted to make sure services was in here. But if you don't have services and you might sell product, or you're just like a consultancy form or something like that, you might want to just have the main business one. You can also, if you're a venue and you want to do venues, you could do a venue one. So they actually, movies, they have non-profits, politicians, they have their own type of page, which is kind of interesting. If you're a restaurant or a cafe, if you're a shopping website, so you can have a shop. If you're a video page, so all the standard one. So there's quite a few templates that you can do just to make it a little bit easier to choose from. Now, you can then also, what happens is that you've got the tabs. So these are the tabs that come down the left-hand side. So let me just quickly show you what I mean. So these are the tabs here. So these are all the tabs that you've got. See down here? You want to make sure that there is something relevant on each tab. If there's not, like, for example, in here, if I had offers but had no offers, take the offers tab off. you can always put it back on later. If you've got events but don't have any events in here, don't. So I've got upcoming. So I've got a free. I had an event there, but I don't have any upcoming events. So if I wanted to, I could take that off. And you can turn them on and off. But you want to make sure that whatever one you're using is relevant to the page that you've got, and making sure that there's things on it. I go to lots of pages and you're looking at the tabs and there's nothing there, and it's kind of like a website. If you've got pages up for future, just take them off, or make them draft them, because we only want relevant information available at any time. You can always turn them back on later. Okay, so these are all the different tabs that comes with my services one, but I can also add tabs. So, for example, if I have services and I've got some jobs that I have opening, I could put a tab there. If I've got live videos, I could add a tab. If there's notes, or if I have a shop, I can actually add the tab. Then I can. What's actually really cool in here too is I can also change the where they sit. So, for example, I might go, in my one, I might go, well, I want the groups to go up the top. So how I want it to, when people see my page, the first thing I want them to do is see my services. Then I want them to see the reviews. Then I want them to see the events that come up. Then I want them to see the groups that they can get part of. And then I want to see posts. So you can actually change how this works as well, which is actually really cool. So you can move things around, and so that these things here come up how we like. So if we click on groups, for example, it'll talk to me about the groups that I've got attached to the page. So this is my group that I've got. Just started. As you can tell, we've got 4 members. I've only just started it. But at least everything's all attached, and every single thing here has got something in it. Now, the other thing we need to look at with Facebook is making sure your about page makes sense. So one of the things that if you're searching on things, the about page is also things that they search on too. So in here, we've got the category. So what do you do? And try and get it as close as to what your business as you can. So I'm a marketing agency, so I've got marketing agency in the category. So here I've got my name. Now the other thing is, this is where you can edit your name if you want to. I can add business details if I wanted to. And here I can put I've got my email address, my website, and I can add other accounts in here if I want. I've got a little bit of an about that kind of tells people what it is. But you can add menus, you can edit privacy policy. There's a whole lot of stuff that you can do in here too. So that's the thing with the business page. Now, and it's really good to make sure your business page has everything looks good on your business page. It doesn't take long. A lot of time it can be just cutting and pasting from your website or your bio if you've got it, or something like that. Okay, I'm going to unmute everyone, and I'm just going to see if anyone has any questions regarding the Facebook business page.
I have one.
Please, go for it.
I just wanted to ask, the information that I would put on my Facebook page, is it good business practice to have it duplicated or replicated on your website, or should it be different because they're different audiences?
Well, theoretically, they could be the same audience. Yes. So a lot of the time, as we know, is when we look at our client, our target market, they should actually be very similar, because a lot of time we use Facebook as getting our target market into our website. It's another way to get it in. So I would use the same information. You could change it a bit. It might be a bit more chatty on Facebook if you wanted it to be, if that's your client market. But I would have, a lot of my stuff's very similar. It's the same I use everywhere.
And that would be the same for the images.
The right place.
Sure. That would be the same for the images as well then, wouldn't it? So if I picked that profile picture, yes, I would more than likely use the image that I'd use on the interface of my website. Is that right?
Completely. So if you look here, so this is my profile image here. And then go to my website. See, I've got it up here. Mm-hmm. It's a slightly different version of it, but it's still but that is still my favorite picture. So so I've used it. I've used that same kind of thing everywhere. So it's down here somewhere too. Did I put it in? No, I did not. Did I not? Oh, sorry, about. Where am I going? I'm going to the right one. So in here, for example, I've put there's my photo as well. So I use the same photo on everything, mainly so that Pine's fact it's a good photo. Putting it in on everything so everyone knows that they've gone to the right place.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's cool. Anyone else?
Kia ora, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi. Is that the same with Instagram? I know you're going to cover that later, but is that the same?
You mean the picture?
Yeah, the picture and the just the content. And
Okay, so each one is slightly different because Instagram is a lot more imagery, as you can imagine. So you've got to make sure your images, they can be all sorts of different things, but you will find that most people have a theme or some kind of brand that goes through everything. So one of the things that I've just redone my website, and so my website now looks a lot, so I've got a lot more of these kind of images where there's always like some kind of flowery thing with some kind of computer part. So so that's what I'm using now with a lot of my stuff. So all my new imagery is going to be like that. On my Facebook page, this is kind of an old imagery. I need to update it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with your branding as well, is that, excuse me, my nose. That's the only thing with branding as well, is just to make sure it's there's some kind of consistency through everything.
Right.
And just trying to make your images as lovely as possible. They don't have to be like, they could be harsh if that's the imagery you wanted, but make sure that they're all really good quality.
Okay, and when I post, because the photos is what really grabs my audience, is a better quality. Like when I post it, I might post say 10 or 15 from a wānanga. Is it better quality, or should I keep it to minimal, or just put maximum? Or
are you talking about Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
Okay. Yeah. So with Facebook, this is the other thing you've got to remember, is that you can have 3 or 4 posts with 15 images.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, and I think it depends on what you're wanting to impart. So, for example, if there was a hui and you wanted to just do a post about the hui and you wanted all the photos within that one thing, that would be fine. Making sure, though, that each image you write something with it.
Oh, right. See, I don't.
Yeah, because people come back later, right? They do a lot. I do it a lot, and I go, what's this image for?
Right.
So for example, these images here, right? Now, I'm not saying I've even done this, which I probably haven't. Of course I haven't. No. But here it would be, I would put in, does your website speak to your ideal client? If not, if you need some help or something, if you need some help, go to www.uniqueness.co.nz and get your free website update, something like that. So when they come here later on, you're actually sending them somewhere that's going to make some sense.
Awesome. That's going to grab my audience.
Yeah, I'm going to take that off because I don't actually have that. But you get the gist, right?
Yeah,
if you do it with every one, it's not so bad. Because you're doing it every time. You can even
all the time, yeah. You
can even cut each one and put the same one in if you want to. But it's also quite nice to tag, especially if you've got photos of people, tagging people in it.
How do you do that? I can't do that for this particular page at all. I could only do it on my personal page. I try to do that and try to tag other businesses when they donate somewhere, but I don't know how.
So if I go, you can tag photo. No, you might not be able to. You're right. So with this one here, but you can tag. You can tag a location.
Okay.
As well, but you can also tag products, which is quite cool. So if you've got an image with products that you're selling, you can tag the products in it, as long as you have a Facebook shop, which is very cool as well.
Okay.
There's lots of stuff that you can do, and there's things that are changing. And I will do a webinar. Maybe just on Facebook. I have actually done one on just on setting it up and making it work.
Oh, cool.
About tips and tricks today, otherwise we'll be here forever.
Yeah.
Any other questions about Facebook?
I just had one more little question.
Go for it.
The one on the side with just you and the profile.
This one here?
That would stay. Is it a good idea to maybe rotate images on that main one though?
Okay. So that's a great question. Thank you for answering. So there's a couple of things here, by the way. If you change the cover area, you can either add a video in here, or you can add, so you can add a video, you can add a slider if you wanted as well, depending on what you wanted to do. one of the things that's really cool about changing your Facebook cover is it goes out to more people. It actually creates a post.
Yes.
So if we go down to post somewhere on my page somewhere, let's see, it actually creates a post with the description. So that's why you've got to make sure you put a description in here. See here. See, this is the post it created, Facebook.
Right.
This is so what happens is it creates a post with the image. Now, this is the image that will look good on websites and mobiles. See how it's a bit bigger down here? And there's more stuff on here. But what you can actually see is only the bit where the wording is. But on a mobile, you can see the whole image. Yes. And it doesn't look distorted. So that's just something that I'll give you I've got the template for that. It's a really great template that you can do in Canva. So that's really cool. And then what it does in this, though, with this one, is it comes out with the information that you've put in the description for the image. And it goes out to more people. So it's really good to maybe change your Facebook cover page every month, for example. If you've got a special coming on, a different event, just showcasing some services every once in a while, and it actually goes out to more people as well.
Awesome.
Now, videos is a really good way of going out. So if you upload videos to YouTube, sorry, what am I talking about? Facebook, my goodness, sorry. Okay, so with Facebook, with videos, you want to make sure you upload them to Facebook. Even if you've uploaded them to YouTube, make sure you upload them to Facebook itself. Don't connect it from YouTube. It will go out to a lot more people if you do that. Okay, and there's a whole lot of captioning things that we can do as well, and I'll be doing another webinar about that as well.
Okay.
I'm going to start writing all these things down that I need to start doing, actually. Webinar, what did I say? Captions. That's right. That's a really cool one, actually. Okay, so any other questions about Facebook business pages before we go on to the next thing? Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to mute you now, and we'll keep going. If you have a special question as we talk, please put it in the chat box. Okay, muting you all now. Continue. Wonderful. Okay, so that is Facebook business page. Okay, now we're going to look at the website. So I'm just going to, this is my website that I created. This is, I used to have an old one and I've just rebranded because you can, why not? So one of the things is when you first, this is what we consider, we can call this page above the fold. So it's everything that you see, everything that you see when you first come into a desktop or on your phone. Okay, so and the fold is the bottom of the page, so it's above the fold. So when you come here, you automatically know what I do because I tell you. So you've got to make sure that your logo or whatever anything you have here is consistent with Facebook, for example, so that they know that they've gone to the right place. So that's really important. You want to make sure that you don't have your Facebook looking one way and your website looking another way, and your LinkedIn looking one, because I'll go, hold on, have I come to the right place? And you don't want people to have that thought because then they might go somewhere else thinking that they don't. Okay, so at the top of the page, a logo is really good. I've just put in here Naadia Jackson-Amiga online marketing. So straight away you know it's online marketing with me. I've got my menu items up the top here. So I've got about, I've got work with Naadia. This is the techie stuff that I do, how you can contact me, and I've got a big button here if you would like to chat with me. So if they click on chat with Naadia, it goes through to my online booking system that I have automatically set up, and then people can choose which time works best for them at a time that also works best for me. So that's really good to use an online booking system with that. If you have people who come in a lot and want to chat with you, it can be a good way of doing it. And then as we go down the page, so here I've just got a bit of information about who I am. I've got some freebies to support you. So these are just some free things. So this is my Facebook cover template that I was telling you about with a how-to video. So it's actually got a video on there and a template. Now, if you click on any of these, the first thing you have to do is you have to sign up for it. Now, I've done that so that I can get my clients' details, and then I can email them things afterwards. getting people's details is really important to gain database. So getting a database is really important. And it can even be before you even start your business, but you've got an idea and you might have something that, something that you can give for free. So like it could be a checklist, it could be a download, it could be a little ebook that you can create, which you can create in Canva. I've created all my stuff in Canva, so I'll show you how to do that later. But if you do it that way, then you can gain a database, and then once you've got you've got people that are interested in what you do, when you're ready to launch a product or to sell a service, then you've got a market to actually sell it to, and you've got a database to do that onto. So then if you go down it, okay, have this thing about that just tells me what to do, how we can support you, and then there's the footer at the bottom. That's interesting. My footer at the bottom's gone. Huh, interesting. Okay. So one of the things I've just done with this is you've got to make sure, so just make sure everything above the fold really tells them what it is. You've got to make sure you've got a footer on your page. So this is my footer here. Interesting enough, the actual footer's gone, so I'm going to have to fix that. So I'm so pleased we had this conversation. But this is another one. So this is another one that I made for one of my clients, and Nicola is an interior designer. Right, so how she's done is above the fold you see this beautiful image that she designed, and then down as we've got here, she's got her qualifications or her things that make it make it really important. And then if you go to the bottom of the page, on every page is her footer. So on her footer, she's got her awards. She's got as featured in, so it just gives her a bit more oomph from what she does. She's got some, these are the places that she's part of. She's got her social media icons. The other thing you can also do on the bottom of your page is you can also have your contact details on the bottom of the page as well. So I'm going to definitely have to put mine back, so they've obviously come off, which is rather interesting. So it's always interesting when I do these webinars to find out what I haven't done. Okay, so you've got to make sure that you have call to actions. So this is a call to action, chat with Naadia. Let's get started as another call to action. Here I've got some buttons to find out more. So all these things are taking you somewhere, like you're going on a journey. Okay, so the find out more takes them here where they can find out a bit more about stuff, but then they say book a session, and that goes to my booking thing, and then they book a session with me. And most of my things that I do at the beginning are all free. So I give away some free 30-minute and free 15-minute consultation sessions if you'd like. So with the website, you've got to make sure that it's attached to your client market. So my client market is, my complete client market is women, right? I love, and that's why my images are very, like they've got a bit of computers and a bit of, we like our coffees, and it's very emotional, but it's also, it's quite loving and nice. And some people will love it and some people don't. So Moana doesn't really like my new website, which is hilarious. But there's lots of other, but a lot of my clients love my website. So it's just really interesting to see you can't be great for everyone. But you've got to make sure that it works for you as well. So this is a website that I felt more comfortable with compared to my old one, which was a little bit more red and a bit too red for me. So I do love red, and I've got pops of red, but there's not too much red on my website. So you've got to make sure that the marketing works with everything and that you love it. If you don't love your website or your Facebook page or your business cards, you won't do anything with them. Okay, so it's really, really important that you really love it, so that you then feel confident giving out your business card or telling people to go to your website or anything like that. It's really, really important. The other thing besides the services, and now this is one of the pages that I get the most hits on, is my About page. So on my About page, it tells them a little bit about me. It's got my call to action. My branding is very similar. It shows a photo of me so you can really tell who I am. Some more information, and then just booking a time with me. And now down the bottom, I've got my social media, so they can go to any of my social media things that I've got here, and then they can find out more information about me as well. So it's really, really important to make sure that with your website that people know what you do for starters, and they know how to get hold of you if they need to, and they can find out information about what you do. Okay, so that's pretty much websites at the moment. I'm just going to unmute you. And any questions on that?
I have one.
Yes, please go for it.
You got
Okay.
one.
Oh, which one?
Oh, yellow.
Put your hand up. I can't tell who was actually asking. Doesn't tell. Just one person speak and the other person will not.
Hi, it's
Hi.
Kahi here. Hi, Naadia. It was interesting you spoke about the red splashed along the website. My question is, are there certain colours and fonts that are popularly attractive for websites, and are there colours and fonts that we should stay away from for a website?
Yeah, good question.
Great question. No. So different.
Well, that's a great answer.
So different colours bring out different emotions.
Yeah.
Okay? So red is very powerful, which is like like Vodafone's red, Coca-Cola's red. Red can be very powerful, but it can also be overpowering. So I used to have a lot more red on my website, which is fine, but I would prefer to just have pops of red, so it's not so. I felt overpowered. I don't know about anyone else, but it was overpowering for me. And so I read, because I wear red. I've got red. I wear red a lot, but it's normally a lot of it's a splash of red with more black or white.
Sure.
So one of the things that you can do is when you're looking at colours for your website, you do have to look at your target market. There was an accounting firm that was a woman accounting firm, but interesting enough, a lot of their clients were males, and they had a pink website. We went and had a look at it not that long ago, and they've changed it. So it's now a dark blue website with pink highlights.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it can be really good when you're doing a website. You can use fully black or dark blue or darks, and then you do need to have a pop of colour.
Well, I didn't know whether I was needing to show professionalism of the business, which are very strong, the blues and whatever, and solid reds and blacks.
What's your business?
It's a dollar driver business.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I drive people's vehicles home. So,
got you. Okay.
So
cool.
I need to be put across as being someone that's trusting,
yes,
very professional, that sort of thing. But I look at it and go, oh my lordy, I need to brighten this thing up.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to understand, what am I looking for in design? Am I looking at what appeals to my clients, but might not necessarily appeal to this type of business, if you know what I mean?
I think what you've got to do is, one of the things is, what's your website address?
I'm creating it right now as we speak.
Perfect. So one of the things is you want to make it clean. You don't want to clutter it up too much.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be that you stick with the main colour is white, for example, when you might have pops of dark blue, or you can have a dark blue website with the pops of colour. So you are a woman and you can be womanly, but it might be just depending on who it is. You might not want to have too much pink everywhere, or purples, or
so
whatever.
Keep it simple.
You can touch of them.
I'm trying to have a look at these.
Cool.
Imaging also is a really good way of creating the emotion without using a colour.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would work for me.
Okay, good. Try it out and then send it to me so I can have a look.
I will.
Perfect. Next person.
Wait, here.
Any other questions?
Your booking system.
Yes.
Is it something that we can do for free? Because mine definitely needs a booking system. That's one of my biggest hold-ups of launching my website.
Yes. Okay. Great question. So my system, I use something called Simply Book Me, and it's free. if you just want to have it connected to like your Google Calendar, and everything's the same. So, for example, I can put my Zoom details and everything, and it's fine. If I want to start taking payments or things like that, which the system does,
Excellent.
I will need to pay.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of systems that will do it for free that just allow you to. I really like this one. It's quite nice. So you can click on book a 30-minute free session. By the way, the 30-minute session is free, and you have all permission. Please go in and book in a session with me if you'd like. But what it does is it comes up and gives you the times that are available.
Okay.
Really easy. It puts it in. It puts in your details. I ask now if I wanted to ask these questions. That's a little payment thing as well that you'd need to pay for. But you can actually have these questions answered as well before they do it.
So is that something that I could book a 30-minute session with you to learn more about?
Definitely.
Hold the.
Yeah. I talk quite fast, as you know, so I can get it done in 30 minutes. It's quite good.
Cool. Just so I don't hold the team up on that particular thing, because I do have a lot of questions around that.
Yeah, great. And ask me questions about websites and stuff, because that's what I do. So I love talking to people about what their businesses are. So please take.
Well, I just wanted to know, I guess, is there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of templates out there for website building, free. You can do it yourself, and then you've got people that are happy to do it for you, free to an extent. I mean, is a website really easy enough for us to just create ourselves?
Okay. Fantastic question. So there is quite a lot of, there are some really good systems that you can use. So Wix, W-I-X, is a system now. Wix is great. It looks great, but it's not responsive. So let me show you what this is. This is a responsive website. So if I'm moving, see I'm moving my browser in, and see how my website changes as I move my browser in. This is called a responsive website.
Right.
Okay. So that's what it's going to kind of look like on a phone. Okay. So this is a responsive website. Wix is not responsive yet. I'm assuming they will at some point come to the market and do it.
Okay.
Google, though, doesn't like it if you're not responsive.
I see.
And if you think about the technology today, everyone has different size screens. I mean, your phone can be even this big to this big.
Right.
Right? You want to make sure a responsive website. So I always suggest people go to Weebly, which is W-E-E-B-L-Y. Weebly have responsive templates, and they look pretty good. So I created, so this one here is one of the, I didn't create this, but this is one of the websites that I know is a Weebly website, because I had a look at it yesterday for a client who wants to model her website off this one. And that's something that's really cool too. If you find a website you like, then you can model it off it.
Yes.
So this is a Weebly website, which is cool. And I'll just make sure, so you can go when it comes in or out. It's just see, it changes as you go. So this is a Weebly website.
Nice. Okay.
It does it exactly. And this is Weebly, so this is cool. So it's got all these different things. It's actually quite good now to make it scrollable, so it's a bit longer. And so you have kind of like all these things, and it's not actually a lot of wording in here, but it's just good wording. You know, so you get a blast of wording when you need to do it. Pretty much like my website, there's not a lot of wording in the front page if you actually looked at it, but it looks good and it's all chunked down, so it's really easy for people to find out what to do. So this is a Weebly website.
Excellent.
Which is cool. And Weebly's great. And so I would use Weebly, and you can get the whole thing sorted out for free first. The only thing is, so I've just made this website for a civil or construction company. Now, this is kind of what you're kind of looking at. She's a male. She's a female in the male's world as such.
Right.
So her colours are green. And we've still got we've got lots of colours and stuff. But it's much more, it's not too manly, but it's manly enough.
Yeah, I see.
And then, so with Weebly, what happens is it comes up with powered by Weebly, and there's a footer at the bottom, and then once you pay, you can then start putting that in.
Awesome.
So I would use Weebly. Wix is great, but I would use Weebly over Wix, mainly because it's not responsive.
Awesome.
The other thing is that you can have WordPress websites as well. They can be more cost effective, but less cost effective. They're a lot more harder to make happen. People say they're easy. Yeah, okay. The maintenance is not that easy.
Right.
So I would always say with the Weebly website or a free templated website first.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions about websites? You can always ask me them later as well. Okay, I'm going to quickly mute people because we've got to keep going. So next up, we are looking at Google Places. Now there's a hands up thing on your Zoom. How many people have heard of Google Places? Hands up. You see the little hands up thing? Okay. Google Places is the best thing since sliced bread. It's a way for you to get on the map as such without paying for anything. So let's Google pharmacies, let's do chemists in Manukau, because that's where I live. Oh, that did not work. I spelled it wrong. Yes, that's what I want. Okay, let's see if it's going to do what I want it to do. Come on. Okay. Oh, hold on. I don't want to do that one. I want to do, let's see what else we can do. Okay, interior designers. That's a good one. Designers in Auckland. I wanted to show you this first. Okay, so this is interior designers Auckland, okay? So the first thing that comes up are all the ads. People who have paid for ads. Now, a lot of people will look at them but won't go there. They'll go down until so I don't click on ads. I always go down to look at the actual results. So first off, you've got ads. The next thing you've got is Google Places. So these are people who are on Google Places. Now, there's actually a lot of them. See all the little red ones are all the people on Google Places, but they come at the top of the list, which is really cool. And then under that, you've got the things here, and a lot of them are very similar to what's on Google Places, and they come near the top of it. So if I was going to do it, I wanted to have one in Remuera, for example. And one of my clients is Nicola Manning Design. So Nicola Manning is one of my clients. That's a website we just saw before. And if you go down to here, it says where she is, what her address is, and it gives her hours. Now, going on Google Play, now she works from home, which is fine. But having this kind of thing here and getting on Google Places if you can is really, really good. The other thing is you can actually do it so that the address doesn't come up. So if I went into positive life balance, when I look for a client, it also comes up here. Okay, so what it's saying here is this is where she'll talk to she works in, but you can, and then she has her address as Hobsonville, Auckland, so it doesn't have all of them. Now she works from home as well. It doesn't tell them her address, but it also gives you all the hours that she's available. It gives her phone number. It can also any Google reviews that she's got will be on there as well. And being on Google is really important. Now, the other thing is if you work from home and you want somebody to come to your house, they can actually in Google Maps just type in your just give me 1 second, sorry. You can also get somebody to put in. You can also they just need to type in positive life balance on Google Maps and it will go straight to where the house is. So it's really cool to do as well. So if you work from home, I think I'm on here too. Let's see if mine actually works. Online marketing. Sometimes I come up and sometimes I don't. It's really interesting. Let's see if it's going to work. Is it going to do what I want? Probably not. That'll be right. Sometimes it comes up and sometimes it doesn't. It's really weird on my one. But if you were going to do something like that, so I've got Clover Park. This is what comes up automatically with that. But it can be good for the majority of the businesses that we do. So if you've got an actual shop or things like that that's actually got a location, make sure you're on Google Places. I personally look everything up in Google Places all the time. So I'll be somebody and go, oh, how do I find such and such? And I'll just do it on Google Places and I'll find it. So it can be really important, if you can, to be on Google Places. So how do you get on Google Places? It's really easy. So you go on here and go Google Places. And it comes up here and even tells you how to get started. You can go into it. Now, the other reason is Google has the biggest search engine in the world. So the more you can be on Google, like Google Plus, Google Places, the higher your ranking is because it's Google, okay? And these things are free. So that's really good. Where have we just gone to? I don't want to go to there. Okay, good. Come on. Oh, here it is. So Google, it's actually Google for Business. And you can go in, you just go start now. You can sign in. You need to have a Gmail account or a G Suite account. So I've got quite a few people on here on my one, but I can create a location. Sorry, I can add a location, and the location I might want to have is for my, so it might be online marketing with Naadia, Jackson-Amiga. We go next. Now, if in here, if you go, I deliver goods and services to my customer and click that, but say hide my address, it will hide your address. But even if you don't get goods and services delivered, you still need to click it so it's there, and then you can hide your address. So it won't come up on the address part. It'll still be dotted, but it won't actually come up on the address part. Then all you do is you type in your address details, you go next, you just follow the process through, and how it verifies who you are is that if you've got a business that's verified somewhere, they can do it by a phone number. If the phone number works, that's great. If it doesn't, they'll send you a postcard, literally send you a postcard. So they'll send you a postcard to your mailbox, and on it asks you to sign back into Google Places, and then you just put in a code and then you're verified. So going on Google Places is a really good way of doing it as well. And I would suggest, if you can, to be on here. It's really, really important. So if I put on online marketing, let's see if this is going to work with Naadia Jackson-Amiga. The best thing is I've got a unique name. So there's only so many that there is. No, I wanted that one. See, I come up with lots of things as well. So I've got online, my name is quite unique, so I come up all sorts of places, which is really good. But the more you can, if you can be on Google Places, it's really, really good. So any questions about Google Places? Any questions on Google Places?
What do you want for
No, I think I'm all right for now.
Cool. Great. If anyone has anything, they can always ask it in the notes as well. Okay. So I'm going to mute all again. We're going to get on to the mute next one. Okay, so that's Google Places. Oh, okay. Domain names. I know there's quite a few people that have like their business address at Gmail. So it won't be, so with me it would have been Naadia Jackson-Amiga at Gmail as my business. I would suggest that you don't do that. It doesn't look professional. If you can, get a domain name. Your website needs one anyway. So this is a domain name here. So if we just go back to my homepage. So NaadiaJacksonAmiga.com is my domain name. So I've also got uniqueness. I've actually got quite a few domain names. And you can also have different domain names for different brands if you've got it. So uniqueness.co.nz is my company name, and the websites look very similar because they're actually the same thing. But so this is a domain name. So my email address is nadia@uniqueness.co.nz, or it's nadia@naadiajacksonamiga.com, or it's accounts at uniqueness. I think I've got contact at uniqueness as well. So having a domain name is really, really important for your business because it makes you look like you're actually a business. You know, domain names don't cost a lot, which is great, but you do need one for your website anyway. Please do not have, this is a free one because we're just using it to make it, as we're designing it. See how it's got weebly.com? So when it comes to your rankings, weebly.com ranks, not Mountford Consulting. So when we get this live, it'll actually be mountfordconsulting.co.nz. But make sure that if you've got a Wix site or a Weebly site, for example, you make sure that you attach it to a domain name that is your domain name. It's really important with that. Any questions about domain names?
how important are domain names to your customers?
It's so for me, if I was working with somebody and they had a Gmail account, I don't feel like they're professional. It's just
Right.
That's my personal opinion, and I've seen lots of others that feel the same way. You're not a business unless you actually have a domain name.
Gotcha. So they don't need to actually. It's just them viewing your domain name more so than having to remember it to go to it, if you know what I mean.
Oh, completely. And it's a bit of both. So,
cool. Okay.
Yeah. So if you typed in Naadia Jackson-Amiga, it would come up in search results. But yeah, but you also don't want to make sure, you want to make sure your domain name's not too big. So
Yeah, okay.
if it's too big, then it's too long and it's too hard. Because you do remember that sometimes people have to type it in. So you want to make sure it's easy.
And okay, my other question is that, so mine would be wanadriver.co.nz, or would I have wanadriver.com? Because it universalizes it, you know.
Okay, so it depends. Are you looking at moving overseas?
I'm looking at franchising, yes.
To overseas?
That's my goal, yes.
Okay, I would get both.
Okay.
So I've got .com, .co.nz and .nz for most of mine.
Awesome.
Now, the other thing is, but what I would start with, because you're starting in New Zealand, I would start with .co.nz.
Yeah.
One
Sure.
thing is Google, if you're a New Zealander, Googling New Zealand, New Zealanders are ranked higher if it's a .co.nz or a .nz. If you can't get .co.nz and the .nz is available, do get that, but make sure that the .co.nz isn't going to something that's similar to what you do. So if it was dollardriver.co.nz and they did exactly the same thing as you, they would probably, because people are still, they would naturally put in .co.nz rather than .nz, because .nz's only just been around. So if they're doing something and the website's not live or anything, then that's fine. We had a company called Rock Your Life, and rockyourlife.com was taken. And rockyourlife.com dealt in actual rocks, you know, like rocks, rocks, and they had things on them. So we got rockyourlife.net, and it was very obvious because we're self-development programs.
Yeah.
You want to make sure if you're going to have an email, a website address which is similar to somebody that somebody's already got, that it's not the same.
So if there was a dollardriver.co.nz, I would consider wanadriver.nz.
Yeah, or you try it, maybe try putting some other, or dollardriver.nz.com or something like that.
Right.
So more different.
Okay, sure.
And that could actually work as well.
That's not NZ. Is that something new coming in? Is that something that's going to be coming in? Because I haven't noticed that more often than not now.
.nz, yeah, it's a new thing that's coming in. I always get .co.nz and .nz mainly because I want to protect my brand.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to protect your brand, and I've also got things like MailChimpNinja.com, I've got TechieVA.com, I've got a whole lot of different ones.
Wow. Okay.
But it's just something to think about.
Thank you for that.
Any other questions about domain names or email addresses?
Not yet.
Okay, cool. So now I'm going to get to the really fun part. This is the bit I love. Okay, LinkedIn. So very quickly, LinkedIn, if you don't know about LinkedIn, LinkedIn is business to business. So if you've got a business, which you guys, which you lovely ladies will all have, then I suggest you be on LinkedIn. It's another free one. It's a bit more business-like, and it talks a lot about your qualifications. So let me this is one of my clients. So let's go into my one. And this is where you can really say what you do, what your qualifications are, where you went to school, what your jobs have been. So this is my one here. So we go in, and it should have a picture that should come up any minute. Yes, it does. So this is my old branding that I used to have. So it was a bit more about being relaxed and stuff, and I liked it, but I didn't really like it. So I've got rid of that. But as you can tell, I haven't updated everything. So I'm just like everyone else. We're all human. But if you change your brand, you should change it everywhere. But I do have my little image, okay? So in here, it tells you who I am. It gives you some information about what I do. had talked to you about my experience in the different companies that I've been in. It also talks about what people have endorsed me in. I've been endorsed in public speaking, which is absolutely hilarious, but that's okay. So I've been endorsed by quite a few people with different things, and then I've got some recommendations here, and then I've got some things that I'm interested in. So it's really more of a business thing. And when you post on LinkedIn, so you can post on LinkedIn, and you can post the same thing on everything if you want. It's just slightly more business-like when you're talking to them. Okay, but LinkedIn's really good to be on as well. Make sure if you can that your name doesn't have letters after it as well, and you can change that really easily in your profile as well. But LinkedIn can be quite important, and also you go quite high in the rankings. So if I typed in Naadia Jackson-Amiga, Jackson, it always helps if I can spell my name correctly too. Then what happens is LinkedIn actually comes up quite high. So the first thing is my website, and then LinkedIn. So LinkedIn comes up quite high on the rankings. So you do want to make sure that you're in it, and it's for you as a person. You yourself. You can actually attach it to your company profile as well, but it's really about you as a person. So that's about LinkedIn, and then it comes down, and there's Facebook, and it goes down to other things that I've been part of. But that's actually really important to be on LinkedIn as well as a business. And you can just copy the information that you've got. It doesn't have to be different, but it is more business-like. Any questions about LinkedIn?
So is this the main platform that we would use to build our professional profile then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can we get leads off this as well? Can we
you completely can. You can
put sell our business? I don't know. Yeah.
So you can put up posts and things like that. There's a lot of people that put up posts and things. So what have we done here? Yeah, you can put up posts. You can put up articles. You can do all of that things.
So say, for example, I was going to start in Manukau. My service was going to run in Manukau next month, in October. Would I be able to do that on here or no?
Yes, and this would be really good for you because it's business to business.
Yeah.
So depending on who you want, so if, for example, you might want to go, I really want to know who the HR manager for Air New Zealand is. And you can
okay.
Open Air New Zealand. Let's see if this is actually HR. HR, and it should come up with some people. So you've got talent acquisition at Air New Zealand. You've got HR business. Yeah. So it's actually really cool. And then you can connect with them. So it's all about connections.
Awesome.
Okay, so there's heaps of things in here that's really cool. So the more you connect with, the better it is.
I just didn't think I was, what was the word? Qualified enough yet.
Well, I think sometimes, but you've got to put yourself out there, and they don't know the difference. So you just make sure everything. So the other thing you can do is you can put out there that that's what you are. So we had a speaker that he used to say, I'm an international speaker. And when people talk to him, he would say he's an international speaker. And then one day he went, because he was South African, he went across the border to another country and spoke, and he's like, yes, I am now an international.
I'm literally.
Literally. So sometimes you've just got to talk to where you are as well.
Yeah.
Because you are going to be there. And there's lots of small businesses. So it might be, you might want to go businesses Manukau or something. So it could be you want to get into the Chamber of Commerce there or something. See, look, Manukau Business Association, LJ Hooker, they're all in Manukau.
That's perfect. Perfect.
So it's really cool. And then you can just connect with people, and then you can have conversations with them.
Yep, that's going to be my next favourite thing.
Yeah, completely. LinkedIn is funky as. And it's really good for cheap. So it's free for the first one, so that's really good too. Okay. Cool. Any other questions on LinkedIn? Okay. I'm going to leave you unmuted because I'm now going to talk about Canva. Okay, so this is Canva. I love Canva. Canva is my fun. Now, Canva's just brought out a new version, so we're going to go back to use Canva 1.0 because it might be a bit, just do it. Might be a bit easier when I'm talking because most of you do it. So Canva is what you use for your online marketing needs, to create your collaterals, to create any imaging you've got. So I created my ebook. This is my ebook. 5 ways to save time and money on online marketing, I think it's called. Let's have a look. I think that's what it's called. I made it quite a while ago. But I've just rebranded it, okay, to my colours. So I'm not quite sure about this image, but we'll be fine with that. But see, what I did is I've actually created a whole ebook in here. So I go down, and this is the ebook I've actually created in Canva. So I created in Canva, got some tips and tricks, got my my call to actions on it, and I created that in Canva. I've also created, so I got all my images in Canva. So all my new branding images, I found them in Canva. These are these little image tiles that I use on my website. I've made them in Canva. Now let me show you how easy it is. I want to create a social media, a Facebook post, okay? I want to create a Facebook post. And so I'm going to choose the Facebook post one. And then it's going to come up here with a whole lot of different layouts I can use. And I'll go, which layout do I want? Oh, I quite like that one. So you click on that layout and it comes in here. And then you go, well, that image is not going to be my image. So I'm going to use this image here and we're just going to put that in there. And I'm going to move it up a little bit. Oh, yeah, so it's more like that.
Wow, that is
and
so cool.
save. And then I go, oh, that's not my colour. I'm going to change the colour. So you can either do two things. You can, if you know what your colours are, which you should know, that they've all got numbers, you can put a number in there. I can't remember mine off the top of my head. That's why I've got them in a spreadsheet. But you can go, actually, I want it green. So I've now got it green. And I'm going to put, oh, it's not the girls' weekend. It's fun time with Penny Boss. Now, I think those letters are a bit spaced out. Let's change the spacing. Let's just make them a little bit in a bit. See? We can also change the line height.
Love Canva.
That's so cool. I love Canva. Okay, so and then you can also move them out a bit. Oh, I need space in there, don't I? Now, I don't really like this font. So let me change the font. I want that one. See, and it changes it to that one. Oh, God, goodness gracious me. Let's not do that. That's a terrible font. But it might be we want Berkshire Swash, for example. And that's one that you can do as well. So, I mean, we've just created a whole, and then down here, we just go down here and we change our, and we'll change the font color to, now the other thing is once you use the font color that's a new one, it'll come up here. So if you type in, so for example, if I wanted grey, let's say that's grey, it's always going to come up there for the whole time you use this particular item. Now you go, I quite like that, but I'm going to create another one as well. So I'm going to move it down here, but this one here, I want, you can copy it down and then you go, I really want this to be a different font. So you can go in and have a look at all the different fonts that you want to play with as well. And it's really cool. So one of the things I've done here is when I was trying to figure out which font I wanted high on Naadia on my website, oh, look, I did this. So I went in and put a whole lot of fonts in. And you just copy them down and you try different fonts and then go, which one do you like? So I did this quite a bit. See, I've got a whole lot of different Naadia Jackson-Amiga fonts. It's kind of clear. See, I came down here. And then I've gone down here, I'm like, which one do I like? Which ones do I like? And then I tried a whole lot of different variations. So Canva is the coolest thing since sliced bread. I love Canva. Love Canva. I now try to do everything I can on Canva. Now this is my little Facebook cover template that you can just sign up for and get for free. That's the one that I've got my video with. These are some business cards. So some of you might know Tanya if she's one of you been with Moana when they did the Honey Boss. So this is her old business card that we did. I've got to create new ones for me. I created my business cards on here. I've created everything on here.
Wow.
That's the best thing since sliced bread.
Oh my God. Postcard.
Love Canva.
Presentation. Yes.
Now, one of the things, I'm going to teach you a little naughty, okay?
Okay.
Sometimes you need the naughty things. If you've got an image that you want to use a lot, okay, so now these are my images that I've got, oh, that did not work, in here, it's in here. So if I go to my upload, so these images here that I've got are really big, and I got them all from Canva, okay, so these are like what I use as my branded images now. And so down here I've also got my logo, which I made in Canva. And I've got my photos, which I didn't make in Canva. But I've got also, these are the things that I've uploaded myself. Now, these cost me $1 each from Canva, $1 each. So they're only $1 US, but it's only $1. And if you make them big enough, you can download them and then upload them and use them for everything, including T-shirts, workbooks if you want them, created. There's a whole lot of things you can do. So let's pretend we found an image that we want to use now for everything. Okay, so let's do a beach scene, for example. So let's say we really love, let me do this a better way. Hold on. Let's go create a design. So in here you can choose which type of design. Let's say we wanted to do an A4 workbook. Okay, so we're going to go into an A4 workbook. And I'm just going to quickly check. I'm going to choose that template. We'll use that one. But I want the background to be different, right? So in here we might go, let's see what images, what beach images they have. So we go down and we go, oh, okay, oh, we really like the $1 image here. So if you put it over, for example, see, I don't know, you can now see how there's lines, right? So let's pretend that we want to use this. I don't know why we ever would, but you might. This is the background image we now want to use for everything we do. So T-shirts, branding, anything. But if you download it like this, you can only use it once for this particular image. So what you can do is, so let's say, okay, so it's kind of like a long one. What we can do is you can go in here, you use the custom dimensions, and you want to make the height 5,000 if it's a long one. So most of mine are portrait images. So, well, let's say it's square. So the biggest you can do is 5,000 by 5,000. Now that is a humongous image. You could put that on a banner, like it's that big. You can print it out. It's fantastic. So what you do is you get the size that you want. Then you find your image again. Oh, picture. That's not really going to work. Sorry. Who wants a picture? Beach. Let's do a beach scene. Beach. Okay, so let's go on here. Let's pick something that's actually we would actually want to use. Oh, this one. This one's quite nice. So we might say we want to use this image everywhere we do it. So what you do is you make it big to fit the size of the whatever you want. And we go, okay, I want it up a bit. Okay, cool. So we want it that way. That's the image that we want. And if you download that, you'll pay $1 once. And then if you upload it, it then becomes yours and you can use it anywhere you like. Otherwise, you've got to pay $1 every time you use it anywhere.
Amazing.
Does that make sense?
Yes, you're wonderful. Thank you so much.
Now, and Canva is free, except for paying for those dollar images. They do have a work one, a business one, which is actually really cool to use. But for us, don't worry about it. I've just started getting using more of the non-free one because I wanted transparent backgrounds sometimes, but you don't need to do that. If you don't need to do it, don't worry about it. So I use the free one for most of my clients, and I set each client up with a different one, so all their marketing collaterals in one place. But you can do this. You can use this for everything, like literally Facebook covers. Hey, by the way, just to let you know, this one's wrong. It's right for desktop, but not good for website, for mobiles, which is why I suggest you use my template, which is all about doing it in here. For Instagram posts. Now, the other thing Canva is, it's on your phone. You can put it in your phone too. So it's really cool. You can do blogs. Canva.
Oh, wow.
It's the kind of thing, if you like any of this stuff, you can play so much. Okay, so for example, so one of the things I've got here is I've got, where's my diet designs? Okay, so for example, I've got a business card, right? So I go to my business card people. Now, if you're in Auckland, use bannerexpress.co.nz for your business cards. I can get like 200 for $26, and then you can either get it freighted out for $6 or they're in Royal Oak, which is quite close to Auckland. They are great 24 hours move around. They're really good, really good. So if I had a business card here, so I would go to my business cards. And I've got to find the thing. So this is the one that we just created for Tanya. So this is a business card that we just created for Tanya, who's one of the Honey Boss facilitators, which you may have met. So this is her business card. So that's the front of her business card, and that's the back of her business card. All you then do is go download. You would do it as a PDF, and you can also put the crop marks. So the crop marks are the things that go in the corners, so that when they're chopping them, they've got a mark to work with, and then you just download it. Now, how I would do with Banner Express, they ask you to do the front and the back. So you would just do page 1, download, and then you'd go page 2, download it. Or you could take it to Warehouse Stationery or whatever you want now. The other thing you can do now is you can order prints. Now, I haven't done this, and I assume they come from America, and it could take a while, so I wouldn't suggest you do it, but you could order prints and stuff directly from here as well. We've made, what else have we made? We made, I've made flyers through here, brochures through here, all sorts of stuff, and I use Banner Express for all my printing needs. They've been fantastic.
Naadia,
yes?
I've been trying to create coasters because of the nature of my business.
Poster or?
Coasters.
Coasters, okay, yep.
Drink coasters on the bars.
Yeah.
Can I do that through Canva?
Sure. So you want like the wooden coasters with just the thing on top?
No, I want the, like you have a cup of tea coaster.
Yeah. So that's like, it's like kind of a cardboard thing, and then you have the image on top. Yes. So what places are going to do is they're going to ask you what image you want. So what you do is you go and get the dimensions that they want. So you'd go to a place that makes the coasters, and they'll tell you the dimensions.
Yes.
So you might go, okay, so I want to create a coaster, and my coaster is going to be, so they can do it in millimeters, right? So it might be, 30? No, that's 3 centimeters. So it might be 300 by 300. And I know that's big, but let's go with it. So it might be that, and then we go in here and go, okay, so what image would you want for the background?
I would just say a car.
A car. Okay, perfect. Perfect. A car. Great. Yep. So in here you might come in and go, oh, we're going to use the Ferrari just for the sake of it, just for this one. Yeah. We probably won't, but you could use a Ferrari. And then so you could even do it so it just comes in this little bit, or it could come there, or it could come up here. All right. And then you're going to put on, you can put your logo on, but you could also have need a ride home.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Need a ride home. And then you could have your web address, for example.
Yeah.
Now, so you would come up with the, with the design on here.
Yes.
You've got to make sure the image is really big if you're going to print it out.
Right.
Which is why I suggest when you're using things like Canva is that you get it as the biggest size you can, download it, and then upload it.
Right.
And then it will shrink to whatever it is, right? So then you've got that image, and then you download it, and it would be the same. You'd go to print. So it's always a print PDF. It doesn't matter if it's a document or anything, and they will always want crop marks. Okay? Yeah. So one of the things you could do then is to make sure that the image here, see how I've got these lines here, are just slightly over the image.
Right.
So when you use crop marks, it actually crops it from here.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But that's how easy it is to make it. So you just, obviously not that car, but you could have images yourself that you just upload, you play with or whatever, and then you download and take whatever. You need to make sure you've got the right dimensions first.
And is it okay, so what you're saying, is it safe for either of us to use those images within Canva? Quite safely?
It is, yeah. So these ones here, I think this one here was, so if anything that's free, no problem. If you pay for them once, you've paid for it, no problem as well. You can use them.
Okay, awesome.
So it might even be something like this, which is a lot more cuter, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Now this is something else you can, this very quickly. Okay, so let's pretend you want to make a collage of images.
Yeah.
You go into elements, you click on grids, and you choose how you want it to look. So you might go, I want it to look like that. Then you go into your images, and we go, okay, I want that over there, I want that there, and I want that there. Mm-hmm. And then you go, well, I actually want this to be moved over a bit here, I want this one here to be moved over a bit here. And I've now created a collage.
Right.
That
Awesome.
quickly. Because it can
That
take
quickly.
a while to get it like that.
Yes, it can. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so collages are really cool. There's so much cool things. There's also frames, for example, if you were, so say you wanted to have your face in a circle. Let me show you how easy it is. So here you go into frames, you'd go down to the circle one, the circle one here. So this is my circle, and I go to my face. There's my face. There's my face. Put it in there. Crop it. Move it down a bit. You might want to make it a bit so you can see it a bit more. There you go. And now I've got a circle face.
No.
It's that easy. And then you can just change the background if you want, or however you want it to do it. But that's how easy it is to create these kind of things. And Canva is wonderful. I love Canva. Did you get I love Canva? Did you find
I love it too.
And Canva's really cool, even if because I'm quite good at taking what other people do and changing it and making it better. I'm not good at designing it from the beginning, which is why if you go, okay, I want it to do a poster, for example. So you go poster, and then they have all these templates, and you can change the templates. It's great.
Oh my God.
Love it. And version 2, sorry, I get a little bit excited. Version 2 is even more, it makes it easier to find stuff. But if you go, I really like this image. Okay, just need to let's just change the background. So it just changes and it said, well, goodness gracious, let's not do that. But it changes the background automatically because they're using these, they're using a frame, and it's so amazing what you can do. So have fun in Canva. Like, no joke, play around with it. I've made all my logos and stuff in Canva. So this is my new logo that I use, this one here. And so it's got my name. Let's just get rid of this so you can actually see. Oh, okay, maybe not. You can also change the background, so let's make it black because that'll be easier. Okay, so I actually made this. It's just my head in a circle with my name and online marketing. And that's I just made a little logo. I've made quite a few of the little logos from here.
So Naadia, can you just show us how you would save that or share that or whatever?
Okay.
Once we've got it, where does it go?
Right, okay, perfect. So you can share them directly to different places. So you can share them to Facebook or Twitter. What I always do is I download them and then upload them. That's what I do.
Cool.
Just because I find that it's a lot, that means I can manipulate them a bit more if I need to. I can resize them. So, for example, if you're going to do it on a website, you've got to make sure the image is not necessarily size-wise, but it needs to be smaller. Otherwise, it takes up too much storage space and it makes your page hard to load. So there's a whole lot of different ways that you can do that too. But and it's just Canva's great.
Awesome.
Love Canva. Anyway, love Canva. So any other questions? Because we've come to the end of our time. And I did say it was going to be an hour to an hour.
Amazing.
No, that's just amazing.
Now, please take up the opportunity of getting a 30-minute free consultation with me. I love talking to people. I love talking to wahinis about what their business is. And I love helping people. So please take that up. It's free 30-minute consultation, so there's no problem to you. Just make sure you know what you want to talk to me about.
Yes.
Because otherwise, okay. And if you have any other queries, you can put them on Facebook as well, on our Facebook group, on our Indie Boss Facebook group, because that's what it's there for. We can have some great conversations with that as well. If you could you please leave me a review on my Facebook page? You've got to ask, right? If you don't ask, you can't tell. And I've also got some really cool videos and stuff that I'll be putting up. So I will send that out to you all. It's a Saturday, so probably not today. By Monday, I'll have it all. I'll send you out the recording as well. And if you're just coming on, and if you're just seeing the recording of this, you also get the free 30-minute consultation. So thank you for that.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Fantastic Saturday. It's beautiful today. Thank goodness.
Yes, it is.
Enjoy your time. Thank you very much for being part of this.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Naadia.
you.
Bye.
All the best,
Bye.
ladies.
See ya.